Hello everybody and welcome back to another Logan Blackman Show YouTube video. Hope you all have had a fantastic week since the last time we have seen each other. And as you can probably tell by the title, in this one we'll be previewing the United States' upcoming match against Germany, which will be taking place at 1:30 p.m. Central Time in Chicago tomorrow. It's going to be a fun game. The number 10 versus number 16 ranked teams in the world. And if you know me, I'm not like the biggest FIFA World Ranking stuff like that. But it's kind of funny to look down and see like, oh, you're only a few spots higher. We only have to get a couple more wins, and then we're going to go to the college football playoff. And that's an exciting experience. That's an exciting experience to have. So the United States, per the rankings, should have no problems making it to the last 16 of the 2026 World Cup on home soil. Am I right? But yeah, obviously we're going to recap the game against Senegal. We're going to preview this upcoming game against Germany. We're going to talk about Germany's game against Finland, and obviously talk about the United States' chances
a little bit
prior to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We'll have the FIFA World Cup predictions coming out sometime next week. The tournament kicks off on Thursday, June 11th. So it's insane that we're already at this point. But we're going to have the full preview for the World Cup coming up sometime prior to then, and then we'll obviously have the United States opening match preview coming out prior to that game as well. But before we get into any of that, let's go over the housekeeping items first. Make sure to check out all the links down in the description below and all the different social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Give that a thumbs up. Make sure to go to the Apple Podcast and Spotify accounts. Also, most importantly, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up if you're already enjoying it. But if you're not a trusting individual and want to wait till the end, I don't necessarily blame you. I will remind you, though, at the end to give the video a thumbs up. And if you still don't enjoy it by that point, leave a comment down below. And if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below on why you feel the way you do, what you feel about the United States' chances at the World Cup, what you feel about their chances against Germany, how you think they performed against Senegal, all that great stuff. Even some early World Cup predictions, let me know down below. And also, here's that awesome graphic of the subscriber count for the channel. So make sure you subscribe, because I know that's all the YouTube things like, hey, look at all these people that aren't subscribed to your channel that are watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. Let's try. I don't know how reasonable this is, but let's try to hit 200 subscribers by the time the World Cup ends. If we can do that earlier than that, if we can do that before the 4th of July, that would be even greater. But with all that being said, let's just jump right into the game. The United States is coming off a 3-2 win against Senegal. Goals from Serginho Dest, Christian Pulisic is back on the score sheet, and Valérien Balogun. Sadio Mane got both goals for Senegal. In the scoring, they kicked things off right away. The United States wasted no time getting on the score sheet. Ricardo Pepi on the left side does a nice little bat-to-goal pass to Christian Pulisic down the left side, who plays a nice driven ball along the ground to Serginho Dest, a streaking Serginho Dest, who just slots it into the net for an easy goal, one of the easiest goals he'll ever score in his career, to make it 1-0 after 7 minutes. And then the 20-minute mark, nice little build-up play. You get a pass from Ricardo Pepi, plays a beautiful ball in behind to Christian Pulisic, who rounds the keeper and just slots it home past him on his near post. It was just a great build-up goal from the United States, and that's what we like to see. That's the stuff that we were expecting to see from Mauricio Pochettino, and that's why like all the work rate, all the running on the off-the-ball stuff, is so important in Mauricio Pochettino's system. We saw the best of that in that first half. Yes, the goal from Sadio Mane, the first one in the first half, was not necessarily the most ideal out there. I mean, you have Tim Ream and Antonee Robinson on that left side. Antonee Robinson's pointing back for the ball. He wants the ball played back. Tim Ream plays it up, and Antonee Robinson gets closed down really quickly, loses the ball, and then doesn't do a great job on tracking back, and the United States gets caught out defensively. Great ball into Sadio Mane, takes it first time past Matt Turner for an easy goal, and those are the kind of moments that stress you out about the United States men's national, because obviously Tim Ream is the captain going to the World Cup, which that decision from Mauricio Pochettino is not necessarily the most surprising thing in the world. Would he have been my pick for captain? No, I would have rather had a Chris Richards or a Tyler Adams as captain. Obviously, Tyler Adams was the captain for the 2022 World Cup, but Tim Ream is somebody that Mauricio Pochettino has instilled a lot of trust in. The only thing that's concerning about Tim Ream is the lack of athleticism that he has. Yes, he's older, but you see older players in the World Cup. Now, obviously, he's not around the same level anywhere close to some of the older players. I'm not even going to mention them because it's just ridiculous to put Tim Ream and those guys in the same category. But the speed and lack of athleticism is a big factor there. And Antonee Robinson's didn't do the greatest job at tracking back in that Senegal game, which allowed them to get carved open. So if he's going to be the starter at that left center back spot, because this further proves that the United States' best formation is a 3-4-2-1 formation, though that being said, it is kind of a 4-2-3-1 formation because Sergiño Dest is playing so damn high, and he's playing basically as a winger. I mean, Tim Ream called him a winger in the press conference. So this formation, though, with Alex Freeman at right center back, is the best formation the United States plays. But if they're going to start Tim Ream, if he's going to be the captain of the World Cup, Anthony Robinson has to be better at tracking back. That's going to be a massive thing. And the center back, whether it's Mark McKenzie, whether it's Chris Richards, need to cover him as well. Like, if you look at Tim Ream comparatively to some of these older players, like some of the players the United States have had in previous World Cups, like not even just 2022, like we're looking back at 2014, he's older than those guys. Like, he's an older dude. He's 40 years old, damn near, and he's just going to he makes me nervous. He makes me very nervous in those types of situations. I do think he's got quality in regards to like his ball playing ability. Yes, the pass between him and Anthony Robinson was not necessarily the greatest thing of all time. You can put that down to Anthony Robinson losing his mind pretty much when the defender pressed him, or you can put it on Tim Ream for passing it forward when Anthony Robinson passes back. Regardless, not a great goal to give up. Then they get on the score sheet again. Sadio Mane. Mircea Pochettino makes wholesale substitutions at halftime. Brings on everybody. The only person that stayed on the field past halftime was Sebastian Berhalter. And Mircea Pochettino came out after the press conference to say that Sebastian Berhalter can play 2 games, that he's a monster, that he can play at 200%. And he played up till the 67th minute. Again, he was the only player to play past halftime for the United States. So that right there tells you that Sebastian Berhalter's role in this team is a lot greater than what I think you or I initially thought going into this World Cup. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, I assumed he was going to have no role. He was going to play 0 minutes in this World Cup. But he looks, and I could be misreading this, he looks like a guaranteed starter for that opening game against Paraguay. And I don't know if that's just me reading into that too much, but with seeing Berhalter play and seeing Mircea Pochettino's comments about him after the game, and we all know Mircea Pochettino is going to go back to Europe to manage. Is it a kind of an expectation at this point that he takes Sebastian Berhalter to wherever he's at? I mean, with all these comments he's making about how great a player he is, he kind of has to double down and take him with him. Regardless of what club that is, you have to take Sebastian Berhalter with him. And then he's limited in some facets in there. I don't really necessarily like him in a midfield too, because when you're in a 3-4-2-1 formation, you're kind of isolated in the middle of the field. Yes, Tyler Adams can cover a lot of ground, but you also have to carry that as well. And he's a little bit limited, I guess you would say, when playing that style of system. So his set pieces are great, but there are some nervy factors in there. I do think he works hard. I do think he's a very hard worker, and Mircea Pochettino seems to really love that about him. So we'll see how much he plays this World Cup, but being the only player, including the goalkeeper, because he substituted Chris Brady for Matt Turner, to play after the first half was kind of a weird sight to see. But on that point, you bring Miles Robinson in for Mark McKenzie. Obviously, Chris Richards wasn't going to play this game. The only other players who didn't play, apart from Chris Richards, were Haji Wright and Brendan Aronson. Brendan Aronson didn't play because he just got married a couple days ago. So congratulations to Brendan Aronson. Congratulations to him. But Miles Robinson goes in at center back. And him being included in the World Cup squad was not that big of a surprise. Like, if you remember going back to my squad prediction video, I said that if not Joe Scally, it was going to be Miles Robinson. Now, I didn't know that they'd both make the squad. I didn't think Mircea Pochettino would bring that many defenders, but that's the reality in which we're living in. And Miles Robinson, after watching this performance against Senegal, he can't play a minute at this World Cup. Like, the United States has too much depth at the position anyways. I mean, Chris Richards is going to be the starter if healthy. I would imagine he's not going to play this game against Germany. We'll see what he does in the World Cup, but he's going to be the unquestioned starter there. Then you got Mark McKenzie there. Austin Trusty can play left center back along with Tim Ream. Alex Freeman at right center back. Joe Scally. He is the 7th choice center back on the United States roster at this point in time, and this game proved that. And he hasn't really been the same since he had that injury prior to the 2022 World Cup. He hasn't really been the same since then, because he hasn't even really been playing that great in MLS this season. Then you see the back pass that he has. It's just lazy. And it gets deflected by Nicholas Jackson, who, Chris Brady, first ever cap for the national team, hesitates, has initial hesitation, gets caught off. Nicholas Jackson chips it over him, and Sadio Mane puts it in the back of the net before Miles Robinson can make a play on it. Chris Brady, you can put it on both Miles Robinson and Chris Brady. I put more of the emphasis on the goal on Miles Robinson, because as an experienced player at both international and club level, you cannot be making plays like that, especially with a goalie in his first ever cap for the national team. You just put him in a ridiculous spot there, and it's a rough spot to go, and obviously nerves played a part in it for Chris Brady as well for his first cap. And what was so funny, I was texting people when he went, I was like, I'm excited to see him because I like him more, honestly, than Matt Freese and Matt Turner. And then that's goal happens like that, like the 55th minute or something like that. So like, well, shit, I kind of have to hold that one, but it made it kind of funny. But the United States was able to recover. Valerian Balogun, low-driven ball across the box from Timothy Weah, deflects, takes it first time, scores a goal. And Balogun could have had like 10 goals in this game. He had one ruled offsides, which was clearly offsides. He set up Malik Tillman for another goal, but got called for a foul. So there's moments in this game where the United States could have had more goals. They put the ball in the back of the net a good amount of times this game, but only 3 of them counted. And the score bug was all jacked up for a little bit as well. So that was another weird situation. It said 3-2 a while prior to Balogun actually scoring the 3rd goal of the game. So it was a weird moment, but the United States, they can hold their heads up high. They put together a very solid performance against a not full-strength Senegal team. I mean, obviously you didn't have Koulibaly, Idrissa Gueye didn't play. You didn't have Edouard Mendy in net. So there were some players that you would normally see from Senegal that did not feature, but you still had Iliman Ndiaye in there. You still had Sadio Mane, Nicholas Jackson. Like, you still had some very good players, some key players for Senegal playing in this game. And the United States played great. They were the better team, minus 2 mistakes, like clear mistakes from Robinson and Ream, and then Miles Robinson in the second half. Apart from those mistakes, I thought they played very, very well. And I'm excited to see what they can do at the 2026 World Cup if they're able to continue playing like that. And I love seeing games like this because team morale on social media gets so much higher, but also at the same time, when you have moments like these goals given up and you look at like the key players, the players who perform the best, who perform the worst, it's always the MLS guys who perform the worst. Like Sebastian Berhalter, I brought this up before. Am I the most confident in him in a midfield 2 with this tile formation? Not necessarily. But do I think he was the worst player on the pitch? Not by a long shot. I do think we have to find some sort of middle ground when it comes to like Sebastian Berhalter, because the way the broadcast was talking about him, thought he was like one of the greatest players of all time. The way Mauricio Pochettino talks about him after the game, and obviously Mauricio Pochettino is a lot smarter in regards to soccer than I am. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I know more than Mauricio Pochettino. He's done there. He's managed a Champions League final, for crying out loud. But to sit there and say how like the praise that Sebastian Berhalter is getting is kind of up here, but then the hate that he gets on social media as well is way too overblown. I do think there's a lot of agenda-driven narratives on social media, whether you're an MLS guy or a non-MLS guy in regards to the national team. I just think we need to just calm down, settle down, because it ain't that deep. Christian Roldan had a really good turn near goal, took a shot on net, and it was nowhere close. Like, he took it with his left foot, nowhere close. But I think there's just a lot of they're easy targets, I guess you could say. But like Anthony Robinson, I don't think was that great in this game either. So it's all a lot of give and take. It's not just, oh, they play in the MLS, they automatically suck. They are capable of good performances. It was this game, and of all of the games we could talk about, I'm not going to sit here and just start bashing players. But in regards to like key players in this game, I think Serginho Dest and Alex Freeman on that right side are awesome together. Alex Freeman is awesome. I love Alex Freeman because he can drift over to that natural right back spot. He's so athletic from that position as well. He's got good size to him as well. Provides a lot from that position. And then Dest bombing forward. He's so damn talented. We've talked about this before, being the most talented right back the United States has ever produced, if not the greatest right back the United States has ever produced, full stop. So it's so fun to see him back in firing in all cylinders. You look at like Valerian Balogun and Ricardo Pepi. They were awesome in this game as well. Ricardo Pepi, you alluded to this before, but his back to goal play, I thought was very good in this game. And it makes me so confident going into a tournament with Pepi sitting behind Valerian Balogun. And Balogun just brings that extra quality to that team. We saw that in the second half in this game. Weston McKennie, the ability to play multiple positions in there. I thought Malik Tillman played well. Christian Pulisic getting on the score sheet, getting an assist. We talked about it prior to the game about him needing to get that monkey off his back because he is the best. When everything's firing, if the United States is going to do anything, it has to be because Christian Pulisic is fully firing. He had no confidence going into this World Cup, and now to get a goal and an assist, I think that's awesome for him going into this tournament. Because again, I think Weston McKennie is the best player on the team, but Christian Pulisic is going to make this team go. And if he performs like we saw in this game against Senegal, I feel really good about the United States' chance. I'm not going to sit here and go like, oh, the United States could win the World Cup, but I love seeing that performances from Christian Pulisic. And there was some comments he made after the game where he's like, I've been playing great. I just haven't been getting on the score sheet. I don't know if I would say you've been playing great, and I'm paraphrasing here, of course, but I wouldn't sit here and go like he's been playing amazing for AC Milan. But I do think, and I've talked about this before, how the system does hinder him because he's not a striker. And he's playing in a front two in a system that rotates the striker position very often, and it's no consistency up those positions. I mean, we talked about before. You got him, Rafael Leao, Santi Jimenez, Nicholas Fulkrug, Christopher Nkunku. There's so many guys that they will line up and play at striker. There's no room to get a consistent run of games in that system. So I do have a soft spot for Pulisic in that regard, but I don't need the same time going like, oh, I've been playing great. He hasn't been playing great. Has he been playing terrible? No, but it is nice to see him back on the score sheet for the United States. You know what? I'm looking at this game against Germany, and I'm feeling very confident going into this game, but Germany, they have the right to feel confident as well. I mean, they're going to be one of the favorites going into this tournament. They're coming off an easy 4-0 win against Finland, which is what we expected. 4 really, really easy goals. Dennis Undav, 2 goals to his name in this one. One of them came from a header. Carl played a short corner to Joshua Kimmich, played it first time. Easy header, pretty much unguarded. And then you had some mix-ups from Finland as well. You had Florian Wirtz get a ball played in across from Dennis Undav. There's a lazy back pass from him. They get kind of caught out. They play a lazy back pass. The defender doesn't even go to the ball to try and play it. Undav slides, kicks it across goal. Wirtz just slots it in. Easy goal. Set. And then the third goal of the game, again, Dennis Undav. Very easy. Nice build-up from Germany. Lazy pass, and Chemek picks it off. He plays it to Carl. Carl plays a very nice ball to Dennis Undav, who muscles off the Finland defender and slots it home for a third goal. And then the fourth goal, Jamal Musiala, left-footed shot near the outside of the box, slots it home near post. Nothing the goalie can do about it. He just drops to his knees after he shot the ball. Very easy goal for them. But Germany, there was nothing really to worry about in this game for them. I mean, it's Finland. No disrespect. Disrespect to Finland. I'm from Swedish heritage. Yes, disrespect to Finland. Ha! No World Cup for you. They didn't even really need to get out of second gear in this game. And this team is insanely talented. I mean, shocker. They brought back Manuel Neuer to the fold. He's 40 years old. He retired back in 2024 from international duty, but they brought him back. Bauman's also there in net, but you look at some of these players they have. You look at the first name on here, Nathaniel Brown, who everybody and their mom on social media said the United States needs to recruit as a backup left back to Anthony Robinson. I remember sitting here going like, why would Nathaniel Brown purposefully choose to represent the United States when he can be a starter for Germany? If you're looking at the German national team, their weakest position was left back. I mean, David Rahm at left back from RB Leipzig, he's fine, but you have a chance to take that starting job, and he started in this game against Finland. So it was not a very big shocker that he decided to represent Germany. If you have a chance, if you're a dual national and you choose to represent the team that has a better chance of winning a World Cup, I'm not gonna sniff at you. I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it, because if you're gonna be a backup to Anthony Robinson, then I would probably go with Germany as well. But then Joshua Kimmich, we brought him up before. Nico Schlotterbeck, one of the best informed center backs in the world from Borussia Dortmund. He's in line to get a big move this summer. Antonio Rudiger still kicking it for the national team. Jonathan Tah. We talked about the midfield. They got some very talented players in there. Nachema from Borussia Dortmund. We talked about him setting up the goal for Dennis Undav, finding Lynette Carl, who's been fantastic. Young player for Bayern Munich this past season. Really talented player. You also got Florian Wirtz, who didn't have the greatest season for Liverpool, but not a lot of players on Liverpool really did this past year, so that's not very surprising. You obviously got Jamal Musiala, Kai Havertz, Dennis Undav, Nick Voltamata, which we'll see what they do with him. We'll see what position he winds up playing there, but this is a very talented German team, and I think the United States can win this game, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it's an all but guarantee the United States win, because Germany, again, is very, very talented. And I'm intrigued to see if Manuel Neuer plays in this game. But if he plays in this game against the United States, it'll be a rematch with the 2014 World Cup, where the United States obviously got beat by Germany. But that game felt more like a win than the draw against, he felt better after the loss against Germany than he did the draw against Portugal, which is a very weird feeling, but the United States was able to qualify after that loss to Germany. But that's whatever, that was back in 2014. But remember, prior to that World Cup, the United States did beat Germany in RFK Stadium. So a reminder of that, with one of the weirdest goals given up from Marc-Andre Ter Stegen that you'll ever see, but he's not in this squad, which is a damn shame where his career has wound up. Like, he was waiting in the wings for Manuel Neuer to retire, and he never found that consistent footing in the national team, and now he got loaned out to Girona, lost his place at Barcelona, and then now Manuel Neuer at 40 years old is back in the national team. So we'll see how it goes for Germany in this game and how they look in the tournament. We'll obviously, again, have the full World Cup prediction coming up as well, but for the United States in this game, we're going to see the same formation, 3-4-2-1 formation. I'm going to go with Matt Freese in net. I think this game against Senegal kind of confirmed the suspicion that Matt Freese would be the go-to starter for the 2026 World Cup because we saw both Matt Turner and Chris Brady in this game. So we're going to have him in net. We're going to have Alex Freeman at right center back, Mark McKenzie at center back, and then we're going to have Tim Ream at left center back. So just keep the same back three that we had last time. Then you're going to have Serginho Dest on the right. The midfield gets kind of interesting. I think this part gets interesting. I think we're going to see Sebastian Berhalter in there again. And then on the left, in the defensive midfield spot, I originally had Tyler Adams, but he was getting held out a little bit at training for like match fitness and stuff like that. So I'm going to just actually start Christian Roldan at that spot. And I know a lot of people are going to love a midfield duo of Christian Roldan and Sebastian Berhalter, but I do think that's what we might wind up seeing here. Anthony Robinson obviously on the left. At the right attacking midfield spot, I think it'll be Weston McKennie. I just have a hard time seeing Mircea Pochettino playing him as a number 8. I could be wrong in that. I do think his position is the 10 spot, but it could be Malik Tillman. I do like the idea of having McKennie and Tillman starting and them rotating back and forth on that right side, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to have McKennie start there. Pulisic obviously on the left, and then Folarin Balogun starting up top. He got his goal last time. Let's see if he can do it against Germany. I don't know if the United States will win. I predicted a draw last time against Senegal. We might as well just do that again here in this game. I don't know what we're going to see for the United States. I don't know what kind of lineup, but that would be my predicted team going into this game against Germany. So again, Matt Freese in net, back three of Alex Freeman, Mark McKenzie, and Tim Ream. Then you got Serginho Dest on the right with a midfield duo of Sebastian Berhalter and Christian Roldan. Left wing back, you got Anthony Robinson. Attacking number 10s, you got Weston McKennie on the right, Pulisic on the left, and then Folarin Balogun as the number 9 in this game. And this is just more momentum needed for the World Cup. And the momentum's feeling very nice right now after that game against Senegal. I'm feeling good about the United States' chance. Again, I'm not sitting here saying the United States is going to win or anything, but I like their chances going into this World Cup. And again, the group is not an easy one, and we'll preview that more in the World Cup preview video. I wanted to do a full Group B preview, but I've been battling. My allergies have been kicking my ass all week, so I haven't really been able. We saw that in the last video where I was hiccuping and coughing and sounded terrible. That's what I was dealing with throughout the past week. So I never got the video up for a full Group D preview, and I do apologize for that, but we'll do all that in the full World Cup preview. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And to do that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, give this video a thumbs up. Here's the statistics again for you who are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe. Let's try to get to 200 subscribers before the end of the World Cup. But if you can do it before the 4th of July, that would be even cooler. Leave a comment down below on what you feel about the United States men's national team, what you feel about their chance at the World Cup this game against Germany. All that great stuff. Let me know down in the comment section. Also, make sure to check out all the links in the description. And of course, I've been Logan Blackman. I hope you enjoyed. If you did not, I sincerely apologize. Try to be better next time. And I will see you guys later. Peace.